Here we are, born to be kings. We are the princess of the universe. Hello, hello. It is I, Madhog thy master, and tonight is a very special occasion for two reasons. One, I have the twins all to myself. This is fine. And the second reason is because, hey, it's tournament night tonight. In this fine night of tournament, it is the night of tournaments indeed. Tournament number 6, aptly named Screaming in the Void.
Very appropriate, I guess.
I guess, yes, to reflect our current existential dread, as it were. I am joined, hooray indeed, by twin number 1.
Would that be the one born first or the one born second then?
I never understood this. Are we really you guys are twins. You know, you came out of the same womb. So what, is this like the moon landing? We are counting the first one to come out as the first man on the moon? Is this how it works?
I mean, there's a time for a reason.
Technically, yeah. We didn't pop out at the same time.
The Japanese are obsessed with designing a hierarchy for twins, as in there is an elder twin and a younger twin for some reason. But at the end of the day, they are still twins.
Yep.
I mean, I guess it's like running a track race. First place and second place count.
Oh boy.
Anyway, since Davar is the one who answered first, that means he's twin number 1 in my book and in my heart. And also we have Danton, twin number 2, apparently. You weren't fast enough to come out of it. I'm sorry, Danton.
No, I'm fine. I got my own pace all the time.
Oh boy! What a great way to start the night. I love me some improv with my favorite twins. And also the only twins I know. Actually, no, that's a lie. I know another pair of twins. And
What,
that's the end of that
or
sentence. We have a
nevertheless?
tournament tonight. Now, before we do this tournament, I must preface that the original plan was for us to do a regular game night, but half the cast has dropped out for life reasons. The idea was to do that game night, and then next time we were going to play the tournament, which was going to feature a couple of the tracks in the game that we were going to play tonight. But that's not how things went. As such, because my one rule for these tournaments is to feature tracks that were indeed presented in our regular game show, as a very roundabout solution to find a loophole to my own dumb rule, I made you guys play a chat-exclusive minigame earlier in the week, and now you know why that was the case.
I kind of had a feeling for some strange reason.
So some of the tracks that will be in this tournament tonight, they will not be new to you, but they might be new for our long-time audience if they have watched all of our episodes.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised when you see some tracks you haven't seen before or heard before. With that out of the way, it is time to play the game. The best video game music tournament number 6, Screaming in the Void game. So let us begin then.
Okay. So I just press the play versus button.
You are so good, Davar. And immediately...
Okay.
Since it was only going to be us tonight, I had to make a few changes tonight. I was going to feature a certain final boss track from Sonic the Hedgehog, but you would have been too biased towards it. So instead, you get another track from a Gabriel Knight video game. This time, the main theme from The Beast Within, a Gabriel Knight mystery. The second one in the series and the only FMV one. Composed by Robert Holmes. If you please, Davar.
Of course.
I think that's enough. So, real quick, the musical styling here is a direct inspiration, a direct homage to Wagner.
Right.
If you could catch the hint of that classic, powerful melody, it is a direct homage to the music of Wagner, and also it is technically diegetic music from the video game, and to expand on that thought would constitute spoilers. As a complete tonal opposite, the Pinkie Pie theme from the cancelled video game Fighting is Magic, the My Little Pony fighting game. Okay, I think that's fine. So this track was featured in our True or False segment. Clearly, the game doesn't actually exist, because it was cancelled. From the skeleton of it, Dem's Fighting Herd was born. But the music for it is still available on YouTube. And I think this is a good track. I personally like it. It is reflective of the bubbly personality of Pinkie Pie as a character, but then it also becomes an effective fighting game theme when the drums start drumming and it goes a bit harder than you would expect such a bubbly composition to go to, and it works exactly for what it sets out to do. At least in my opinion.
Let's see, who should go first between the two of us, you think?
Devar, yes, I'm going to say Devar, I'm going to decide. Devar.
Alright. Okay, so, alright, so, first things first, I'll just say the Gabriel Knight, The Beast Within. I like the place I stopped on the track, because it looks like a heavy metal album cover, you know, by Solitaire Arctica. Can't go wrong with classical music, especially when it's very well orchestrated, so to speak. And composed, rather.
I know some of you might be weak towards classical music.
And meanwhile, Fighting is Magic's Pinkie Pie's theme is definitely very bombastic and definitely suits a fighting game, based especially with that energy it's going for, just to not only represent the character but also be good for a fighter. But if I was to choose between the two, I probably would go with the Gabriel Knight.
Mm-hmm. Danton, what about you?
Well, the Pinkie Pie theme from Fighting is Magic is, as you both have pointed out, is very high octane and bubbly, and bombastic later on, basically, especially with the drums, which fits Pinkie Pie's. Not sure if I'm using this word correctly. Eclectic sort of personality.
This is the track that plays when Pinkie Pie loses her shit, basically.
I do like My Little Pony stuff, but I really like classical music. It's basically some of my favorite, and it does this really well. Basically, it sets up sort of mystery, but at the same time,
A Gabriel Knight mystery, if you will.
Yeah, almost like grandeur. Basically, that it's almost like painting a picture. Basically, as it goes through the wherever this plays, which I imagine is the opening.
Like I said, the music is technically diegetic, but you don't know that when you hear it the first time in the opening sequence.
Yeah. So I think my vote, even though they're both really good in their own way, it is going to be Gabriel Knight for me as well.
Well, in that case, I think it's unanimous. I'm voting for The Beast Within as well. And just like that, Gabriel Knight has been vindicated from the embarrassment from last time, when the theme from Gabriel Knight 3 was compared to the music from a sports broadcasting event. And then I was pissed off because I overlaid that music to a clip from Uma Musume, and it fits so freaking well, it was upsetting.
Yeah, I did see that.
Okay, here we are. So this is a interesting combination. If the previous round featured two tracks that could not have possibly been more different, these two have something similar in common in energy and mood, but at the same time, their makings are so fundamentally different. And you will understand what I mean once we listen to them. Yes, let's begin with the Team Star boss battle from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Keep going. Okay, that's enough. This is good. I would say this is very good. Very exciting music, very bombastic music, very funky music. and some nuanced little notes that you can only perceive if you're using headphones. Beneath all the seeming chaos of the structure. Very, very powerful music. I feel sorry for it, you know? I feel sorry for it because immediately at the very first round, it runs into the Anthropocene from Small Saga. Let's listen to it.
Our planet faces an unprecedented threat. We must act. Time is running out. Let's talk about the Anthropocene era. The current rate of species extinction is 1,000 times the background rate. Humanity's increased consumption and reproduction are among the primary drivers. The biodiversity crisis caused by habitat destruction has so far proven irreversible.
Okay. You get the idea. This is such a savvy combination of various different elements, from sampled clock ticking down to an explosion to documentary voice text to screen bot that everybody uses on Twitch, detailing scientific facts, to the main portion of the track, which is this astoundingly good video game boss music. It's just mwah, the chef's kiss. A weird, eclectic combination of elements that come together beautifully to produce a really, really memorable track, and I love it, and I'm giving it my vote. You know where I stand with this. But what do you think?
Dokie. Well, good to know. See. So, I will definitely say that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's Team Star boss battle theme, definitely very hard on the rock, with extra rock on the side. I'm in the music genre, I should say. Love the energy, love the personality it's got going, and especially it does while still retaining the kind of idea that Pokemon's identity.
Whatever that is these days.
Yeah, whatever that is these days, but it still tries to basically keep a bit of that whimsicalness at one point I noticed in the track.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Small Saga's the Anthropocene.
The Anthropocene! Hey, come a taste of the Anthropocene! I can make these jokes because I'm Italian.
Yes, I know. but yeah, anyway. I like the track just because it's very unique in the way it... and it's very unorthodox. So it's kind of like, it's funny how they're similar in that they're both kind of experimental in that sense.
Well, I don't know if I would call Team Star Boss Battle experimental. It's more like a pretty tried and true road when it comes to a fusion of musical cues. But I don't think I've heard anything that's similar to what the Anthropocene does. I don't think I've heard text-to-speech, such recognizable text-to-speech technology being used to complement the gravitas of the track.
Of course.
At least in my experience.
Though I will say, just to make things interesting, I will basically put my vote for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's Team Star Boss Battle theme.
Interesting.
Both of these tracks are just as good as each other, in my opinion. So if I'm going to put my lot into any of them, it'll be that one, just to make things interesting for this round.
You know, guys, this is very funny. This is very funny to me because you will never guess.
Yeah.
You will never guess which track I had pegged to make it far into this tournament.
Oh.
Let's see how this goes. Dantan, what do you think?
Well, first off, they're both, I would say, basically in their energy, very similar to one another. That they're trying to portray. The one does it, I think, basically better and creative more than the other does. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, it's good, but I feel that it.
You almost gave me a heart attack there.
it almost, I would say, cookie cutter, basically in its rockness.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it cookie cutter unless you are comparing it to the Anthropocene, which is so unique, again, comparatively speaking.
Yeah, I'm just basically just saying what comes to my head first, but anyway, the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, it's very serviceable for its boss battle theme, and I can imagine basically, rocking out to it while basically collecting moves and whatnot. But the TTS that's being used basically in a very creative way, in tune with the music, is just very fascinating to me, especially with how catchy it sounds. So my vote goes to Small Saga.
Okay, I'm happy. Phew, crisis averted.
I always like to see Madhog sweat a bit.
Sweats. What's next? Ah! Okay then. This is funny. So, two of the three eroge visual novels I have featured in tonight's tournaments are facing each other. What are the odds?
Interesting. What are the odds indeed?
So, guys, I'm going to level with you. I've spent the entire summer playing visual novels, perhaps to make up for lost time, in which I didn't play visual novels. Most of them are erotic, because actually most visual novels are by default erotic. It's just that they get censored on Steam. And now you know. And you should buy them on Just USA if they have them. But anyway, Gore Screaming Show, the screaming main title. My first choice would have been the OP track, Distorted Pain, but that gives me a massive copyright strike. Instead, I decided to use one of the more haunting and captivating main menu tracks I've ever heard. If you please. Okay. Like I said, haunting, it takes you by the throat and throttles you until you run out of breath. It gets you in the mood to enjoy some gothic horror. It's the perfect music if you're about to read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, I would say.
Oh, that's a deep cut.
Actually, it kind of reminds me of the main theme from the Frankenstein by Kenneth Branagh from the 90s, in that sense.
Oh.
This game is not a gothic horror, by the way, but that sure is the vibe I get from it. I have a fun fact about both of these tracks, and indeed both of these games, but I will share it with you after we have listened to A Fig from Dead and Aegis. Pause. Okay, so, fun fact here. Dead and Aegis and Gore Screaming Show share some of the same DNA. They both have Ueda Metawo as the character designer, and they both have the same band composing the music for them. Well, specifically, A Fig here is composed by the band Denkare, and the lead singer here is Karen, also the same band who composed Distorted Pain, which is the OP for Gore Screaming Show. And a couple of the names you see credited there for the Gore Screaming Show OST are in fact members of that same band. So like I said, these two games, very similar in the sense that they share composers and artists. The big difference between the two games is that Gore Screaming Show is great, I like it. Dead and Aegis sucks big cosmic balls. The music is great though, I like A Fig. I think Karen's voice is cute, adorable and bubbly, in great contrast with the far more vicious nature of the music. I can only compare this contrast to baby metal, I guess, if I were to broach a comparison. Cuteness in direct opposition to brutality, in that sense. Which, hey, it's basically what 90% of eroge are like, come to think of it. Cute girls, horrible things happening to them. What else is new? This is the de facto cute girls, horrible things happening to them video game. It's also try-hard, post-Madoka Magica hedgy bollocks, but that's neither here nor there. Music is great, is my point. I don't know if it's clear.
Oh, I got that.
I cannot prove this, but I suspect that Karen, lead singer from Denkare, they made an OC for her that appears in Gore Screaming Show. I think that's supposed to be her. I cannot deny or confirm that, but I suspect that's the case. Which is cute. Okay. So time to decide who passes the turn. Danton.
They're very different, these two tracks, of course.
Of course.
Or Screaming Sure. Basically the lingering, what is out there, basically waiting for you in the darkness. Dead End Aegis,
You can.
I would
well,
say
please. I am begging you. Refer to this track by its title, A Fig.
a fig.
A fig. No capital letters, just a fig. That's the title of the song. I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah, well, as you say, it's got like this contrasting, cute singer with the heavy rock music. It's one of those hard choices for me because I like them both, and
But for different
despite all
reasons.
the interesting, despite basically the interesting trivia aside and whatnot, the tracks basically, if I take them at their face value, so to speak, it's basically what would I probably listen to and add to a playlist and continue listening to it. And despite basically Gore Screaming Sure having a very haunting, beautiful track, I would say basically A Fig is going to get my vote.
A fig.
Yes,
Fig.
A Fig.
And I would go
fig.
wherever I'd go. Okay. Devar, what do you think?
Well, if you didn't tell me that Gore Screaming Show piece, the main title theme, if you didn't tell me the context of it, I would have basically said, oh, it's from an RPG sort of thing, kind of like Final Fantasy VI, because it's, it plays during a moment when all the characters are downtrodden and feeling awful about a situation. Because I don't know why, it kind of gives me that feeling it's from an RPG when something just horrible just went down.
So to you, it makes you think of a bad scene from Final Fantasy VI, and to me, it makes me think of Frankenstein instead.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do like it though, just because of the fact that, it just makes me imagine such scenes of, heroes being downtrodden or something awful happened that was beyond comprehension sort of deal. And it's because of that melody kind of just sells it as like the dread of such a situation. Meanwhile, a fig is pretty much a fig is pretty much is something I like as well, because I really enjoy that where two things contrast each other, where in this case the cuteness of the singer shouldn't go with the viciousness of the track, but it just does somehow. And
yes,
and I don't know why, but most of the times I swear that it's always Japanese openings that are always doing this in video games or anime or whatever they're working on with music, and it's quite funny to see how often they do that.
There is clearly an industry motivation to have the best possible bangers for an opening track for a visual novel so that they can sell it as a single.
Yeah. But if I was to choose between the two, I would probably will go with the main title theme from Gore Screaming Show, just because I just enjoy the atmosphere and the ambience that just really oozes off this track.
Well, I was afraid of this because now I have to give the decisive vote and I cannot decide. Yes, that's me. Okay. Let me listen to the screaming main title again from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me listen to the second half of A Fig, if you please. Oh yes! Oh my god! Okay, pause. Okay, so the truth is that the decision was clear from the beginning. It's just that I needed to do some soul searching here and trying to separate the art, the game that I enjoyed, from the music that I enjoyed the most. Because I liked Gore Screaming Show a lot, and I disliked Dead End Aegis quite a bit. But A Fig is such a great song, I have to vote for it. I have to vote for A Fig.
A Fig goes through then.
And, okay, so the title of this tournament is Screaming in the Void. You do realize we have gotten rid of the screaming part already.
Yes. That means you have to title it A Fig.
A Fig in the Void. Right, so now we have the Dawn Awakens from the Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn OST versus what is my pick for the experimental track, acquired taste experimental track for this tournament. Basically the equivalent of Pepper Steak from last time.
Oh.
Oh, that Windows Movie Maker editing. I think that's enough. You get the idea, a slow burn opera duet. Very powerful,
Yep.
very emotionally charged. For the other track, this is the final boss from Going Under, from the same developers of Agro Crab, the same developers of Another Crab's Treasure and the recent Peak. This was their first big title. It was criminally underlooked, in my opinion. It is actually quite good. This is a very experimental tune. You will see what I mean.
Programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, programmed your brain, you 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 programmed your brain, programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, you programmed your brain, programmed your brain, you programmed your
Skip to the alpha waypoint. Go back a little bit. A little bit more. Okay, that's enough. This might be a bit of an acquired taste, I realized, but I am fascinated by this. The obsessive, repetitious use of that one sampled sentence, programmed your brain, we programmed your brain, programmed your brain, we programmed your brain, we programmed your brain. This cannot continue, this cannot continue. It has that very specific dark energy, or dark pattern, if you will, and the almost chaotic and cacophonous nature of the track that accompanies it drowns you into this world of digital unease and havoc. Unique kind of dread and anxiety, which befits the nature of the final boss as well as the nature of the game, in which you are basically fighting God, and God is an algorithm. The game is about capitalism, by the way. Now it's time to decide a winner, and for my money I am voting for the Dark Pattern, because I'm biased. What do you think?
Of course. Let's see now. Radiant Dawn basically comes out with this lovely duet that is very soothing, very beautiful, very soft. meanwhile, going under the dark pattern is pretty much the one with the most character in this out of the two, I would say.
We have music that's reminiscent of a classical opera, and then we have the most experimental, out of this world, digital electronic mashup you could possibly have.
Yeah, and and just because even though I would choose the dark pattern, but because I would like to give Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn a chance, it's getting my vote. Radiant Dawn is the Dawn Awakens.
Yes, the dawn awakens in the radiant dawn, which is the dawn that awakens in the radiant dawn. Dawn. Danton.
Dawn.
Well,
Dawn Mutz.
first off, I like basically Fire Emblem music in general. I think it's very well done, especially this piece in particular is very a beautiful and moving track, especially with the duet going and in great harmony together with the music. Going under, as you said, it's experimental. It's going to be like Vegemite, I feel. Basically, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure, basically, whether it's one of those earworms that grow on you, because I'd have to listen to it more, I feel, over time, or play the game. But in this present right now, I felt really annoyed by the "we programmed your brain, we programmed your brain, we programmed your brain."
We programmed your brain, but it's now stuck in your head forever. We really did reprogram your brain with this one. Which is the point! Which is the point, really. It makes sense.
Yeah, which is why I'm going to break the code for this and basically vote for Radiant Dawn.
Fair enough. I was not expecting this one to go very far, but I wanted to give it a chance at least. Okay, what's next? Ho 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 ho! Yes! 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 Hold on there, cowboy. Let's begin with Nightmare Creatures.
Okay.
I think that's enough. I do enjoy me a classic Ennio Morricone inspired track. Clearly, you can hear the homage to John Carpenter's The Thing, the theme by Ennio Morricone, specifically.
Yep.
The influences are being worn on the proverbial sleeve here. That is all to say that it is a good, suspenseful music. Very apt for a horror game, or indeed horror in general. Unmistakably what it is, and you can appreciate it for that. Now, hold on, Devar, hold on.
I'm holding.
I need a bit of a premise here. I need a bit of a preface here.
Okay.
So, Wonderful Every Day. This visual novel, which I just finished, is one of the most critically acclaimed ones in the entire medium of all time. And I understand why, but I'm also here to tell you that after spending close to 70 hours with it, this game has obliterated my soul. Completely damaged me beyond repair. I am not exaggerating, I am not spouting sophistry. I've been grieving, actually grieving, for an entire week and a half after playing this game. I've had episodes of actual spiraling depression, or the closest I've ever had to that, anxiety attacks. I started crying sporadically whenever I thought about it. That's damn powerful fiction. And I cannot even say it's good or bad or great or a masterpiece or none of that, because my feelings towards it are extremely complicated, and I do not have hours on hand to try and explain to you why this game is the way it is and affected me the way it did, but it did. Devar, I'm going to need you to be my brave little soldier before you listen to this. Can you be?
Hello.
I'm actually speaking to myself. Can I be my brave little soldier as well? Let's listen to it.
Don't worry, Madhog. You got this. You got this.
Okay.
You
So-
survived?
What about you? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good, actually.
Okay, so obviously I have a lot more to say about this track than the other one. So listen
Yeah.
to me here. So Yoru no Himawari, which translates to Sunflowers at Night, is to Wonderful Every Day what Hope was to Umineko. A leitmotif, a musical leitmotif that reflects a lot of the themes from the game, and it definitely paints a very specific melancholy picture. They were both emotional piano pieces, but there is a subtle difference in the way the keys are used, because Hope conjured up a image of an hopeful future, something that, in spite of everything that happened in the past, we can still strive to find. Something that still gives us motivation. It was inspirational, while still being melancholic. I think that Sunflowers at Night has the opposite mood, in the sense that it's not really looking at the future from the past, it is looking at the past from the future. It is wistfully going back to the times where you were truly happy. Times that have long since been gone. Whether you will find happiness or not again in the future, you still have that memory, that sad memory of a time in which you were truly happy, that can never really return. But you have lived through that. You will always have the memories. Nobody can take those memories from you. Even as this sinking feeling emerges from the pit of your stomach, and you feel like crying all of a sudden. You see, the Sunflowers at Night, the title of the track, they are a metaphor, and they carry various meanings depending on the context. It could either refer to a symbol of grief, because we have the flowers moved and empowered by the sun, but they have been denied the light of the sun because it's night. But they could also be a symbol of inner peace, or a motivation to continue on with your life. Because even if the sun no longer beats on them, even if the light of the sun has been denied, the sunflowers, the stalks, are still fully erect, even at night. Both reads apply to different moments in the game. Also, there literally is a field of sunflowers at night at some point in the story, but that's spoilers. The point is, this is the first piece of music you hear in the game. It is the exact same piece of music you hear with that CG you're looking at right now in the video, featuring that gorgeous, cool goth woman smoking a cigarette looking at the summer sky. And really, guys, Wonderful Everyday is an extremely difficult game to discuss in earnest or succinctly, not just because of the themes it tackles and how it tackles them unrelentingly, but also because it's one of those games. One of those games that you should play without knowing much or anything at all about it. In fact, it is the game that has basically spawned an entire subset of visual novels who do just that, ad nauseum. This is the visual novel to end all visual novels. And yes, even compared to Umineko, Umineko is extremely long, but compared to the Wonderful Everyday experience, it's child's play. I can take it emotionally. I cannot take this one, though. This one destroyed me. But honestly, if I wanted to sell you on this game, I don't even need to go out of my way to do so. You see that woman? The goth woman with the cigarette? Protagonist. Lesbian. Protagonist, comma, lesbians, plural. There. Game sold. Now you want to check it out. But that would be just the first layer of a massive apple to peel. Right then, so it's time to vote. Obviously, I'm voting for Yoru no Imawari. No doubt about that. That's my pick. That's my choice. What do you think, Danton?
Well, if I'm being completely honest here, between the two, there's no contest. Nightmare Creatures is very good in its homage to The Thing and whatnot, but Wonderful Everyday is just it just sounds very special, and it basically tugs on the heartstrings, so it gets my vote.
Devar?
I'm just going to give a pity vote to Nightmare Creatures because I like the atmospherics in that one.
Fair enough. So guys, you might have figured this out. This is not the only Wonderful Everyday track that's going to be featured in this tournament.
Oh boy.
Nevertheless, let's continue. Well, 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 well. That is sure a lot of credits in under that Disgaea Free soundtrack.
Yep, I definitely see that.
You know what, Devar? You decide. Which one do you want to listen to first?
I think we'll listen to Disgaea 3 first.
Yes, let's go! Disgaea Free, Absence of Justice, my beloved. When are they going to re-release this game for modern platforms? Damn day! Anyway, so Maritsu Evil Academy. If you played Disgaea Free, as I have, you will know that the first thing that welcomes you into this game is a fully animated 2D opening featuring this exact song, and it is presented as a musical. It's very good, it's very catchy, it's very quirky and fun. I like it. Of all the Disgaea openings, this one is easily the best one. Don't feel free to disagree. And yes, there you have it. Basically, evil High School Musical. Or High School Musical, if it were good. But evil!
Oh gosh.
Maritsu Evil Academy. And now we listen to yet another Umineko track. Oh, what are the odds? World End Dominator. if Icipal were here, he would probably be complaining of how long the build to this one is. And in many ways, the build just keeps on building, because there is a build within a build within a build, actually. If you look to your right, you see all the credits for Maritsu Evil Academy, which is a whole bunch of people. I went out of my way to include both the writer and composer, and literally everybody who sings in it. That's a lot of people. This is not even the longest sequence of credits I have for this tournament. And then if you look to your left, the composer
ZTS.
You get the idea. It's pretty funny. Right, hey, Devar, do me a favor. Just jump to the alpha waypoint of World End Dominator. I think it changes again. Okay, no, I think we're good. I think we are good. Right, so World End Dominator is neat, but not in a way I can properly put into words, because it's nothing you haven't heard before. A strong bass, solid beat and rhythm, building and building and building, until it eventually reaches a point in which it starts building again. It never stops building, actually, in a way. And some would find that obnoxious, but I think it works for this particular track because there is a dark energy to it. That's a weird way of putting it. It is, perhaps, the best way to put it, it is the best clubhouse music. Music to dance and bang your head to. That's all I have to say about it. It's time to vote, guys. What are we voting for? What are we waiting for? Devar.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in order since we played Disgaea 3 first. So yeah, Absence of Justice, Maritsu Evil Academy. Really catchy tune. I remember me and Danton were listening to it on release. Well, the trailer, I should say, when it came out, when they revealed the game existed, and it was so catchy, that damn tune. It was just everywhere for a while in our heads, even though I could not tell you why it was catchy, because to me it's not all that great.
Sometimes personality can just carry an entire enterprise through its goal. And this song is nothing but personality.
Yeah. But I will say that I have a lot more to say about World End Dominator from Umineko, though.
That's because you played the fighting game, didn't you?
Yes. Well, yes, but I will say that upon hearing this music for the first time in said fighting game, and thanks for reminding me it came from the visual novel, because I found that out afterwards when I was researching that piece of music.
Wasn't it also in the anime as well?
It was, I think, but it didn't stand out as well as in the game.
That anime
version.
was... So, the absolute gall of trying to adapt Umineko, of all things, into an anime, famously one of the most inadaptable works of visual literature. The absolute gall of doing that. Oh my god, that show is unwatchable. Anyway.
But yeah, as I said, I have a bit more to say about World End Dominator, because I just love the composition of the fact they have techno in this, mixed with the refined classic music of pianos and violins, like you would typically hear in noble houses. And it basically creates this crescendo of dread that is never ending, much like the story of Umineko. It is dread that never ends.
Well, have you read Umineko, Devar?
I've not really read Umineko.
Okay, let me put it this way. If you carve yourself a few hours a week to read some of Umineko, you might be able to be done with it in about generous estimate a year. Either that or you have an entire month worth of free time and then you can splurge yourself with it. It's about almost 6 million words long and it might take you over 100 hours to go through this.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, that is my feelings on World End Dominator, and I would actually be voting for this one.
I gathered. Danton?
All right. So, with Skya 3's opening theme, it has very for me, it makes me think of similar energy to Nightmare Before Christmas's first musical
Danny
song
Elfman energy? That makes complete sense. I approve.
World End Dominator from Umineko. I've listened to a bunch of different versions of the song, basically, and it's actually one of my favorites from the from Umineko. So without retreading old ground, so to speak, from the two of you talking about it, its praises and whatnot, World End Dominators gets my vote.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll give my PT vote to this Gaia Free, Maurizio Evil Academy. And now World End Dominator advances to the end times, I suppose. Oh no! Okay, two things here. This is... You can see the credits there, right?
Yes, I see the credits.
That's a lot of credits, and I will explain why in due time. But first, we have a couple of bangers here. That said, I already know for which one I'm going to vote. Let's listen to Winning the Soul from Uma Musume Pretty Derby. Or rather, a version of it.
光の速さで駆け抜ける衝動は何を犠牲にしても叶えたい強さの覚悟一度きりのこの瞬間にかけてみろ自分を信じて時には運だって必要というのなら宿命の旋律も引き寄せてみせよ走れ今はまだ終わらないたどり着きたい場所があるからその先へと進め涙さえも強く胸に抱きしめそこから始まるストーリー果てしなく続くウィニーザソーつかめ今を変えたいなら描いた夢を未来に掲げ恐れないで挑め走れ今はまだ終われないたどり着きたい場所があるからその先へと進め涙さえも強く胸に抱きしめそこから始まるストーリー果てしなく続くウィニーザソーワーワーワー
Winning the Soul! Okay, so... Oh boy, I have a lot to explain about this track. First of all, you see in the credits that this is indeed Winning the Soul. Specifically, it is the version of the song that features Tokai Teiyo, Narita Bryan, and Seiyon Sky. Because the absolute insanity of all the tracks, all the songs from Pretty Derby, is that they are sang by all the voice actresses of all the characters. And you can have a different combination of those voice actresses and those characters singing the same songs, which is insane. And I think that's the case partly because originally the video game was supposed to come out in concurrence with the anime, but it didn't, it was delayed. So to keep the dream alive, they had all the voice actresses, which are actual, as it happens, idols, do concerts and tours to promote the video game using the songs from the soundtrack, official soundtrack. As such, Devar, if you could read me the credits for the song.
Right, so featuring Tokai Teo, Narita Bryan, Seiyon Sky.
This is indeed the version of Winning the Soul that we listened to, yes?
Yes, and the other names that are listed here are Makoto Miyazaki, Machio as Tokai Teo,
Machiko,
Yuka Aisaka as Narita, Bryan, Akari Kito as Seiyon Sky.
Right. So, the reason why using this song does not give me a copyright strike, it is because it's one of the many, many versions of it basically count as gameplay music. The official original version of the track, featuring Tokai Teiyo specifically, and alone, that's the version that would give me a content ID. And that's also the version that was used in the second season of the anime. This is a clever way to find a workaround to avoid content ID. Using this very specific version of the song. It is a good song regardless of who's singing it, but personally, I prefer it when the lead singer has a huskier voice. If, say, someone like Narita Bryan, for example, were to be the lead singer instead of Tokai Teiyo, I think I would have liked Winning the Soul even more. But this is not the version I featured in the episode in which it was featured. So here we are. Tokai Teiyo, Narita Bryan, and Seiyon Sky version of Winning the Soul. This combination of characters that it's easy to find on YouTube.
Right.
Hence why I picked this one out. Okay, that was a long-winded explanation, but I needed desperately to provide context for this oddity.
Right.
And now... and now this one. Okay, you can pause. Skip ahead a minute, if you please. I am surprised at myself. I thought I was going to burst into tears as
Good
I
on
heard
you.
this song.
You did it.
It's yes, I did it. I survived. So you have to see or hear this song in the context of the game's opening. But even without considering the opening, this is perhaps one of, if not my favorite song from a visual novel. From the opening of a visual novel, at least. I can't describe to you the emotions that this song evokes in me, and I realize that a lot of it has to do with context. This song is such a mood, as they say. The indie punk rock energetic opening, the hopeful, optimistic singing that belies a weird, indescribable melancholy, all come together to make for a wonderful song fit for a wonderful everyday, in my opinion. I don't think there's ever been anything in media or art that has thoroughly thrashed me, gotten to me as much as this visual novel did. And this, mind you, this visual novel also features on the side funerary dream sequences and incest. Just, on the side.
It's just, it's just part of the quota.
It's a little side dish over here.
Actually, I'm being facetious. It's not a side dish. It adds to the absolute mind-bending horror that is some of this story. And then, next to that, you will have the most harrowing, the most heart-wrenching, the most raw and real depiction of bullying and sexual assault I've ever read in my life. Seriously. Screaming into the void, indeed. It does some things very openly, bombastically, but also the way it presents and builds itself, it is so nuanced and subtle and elegant, peels itself away stratus after stratus the more you play it. And tassels come together the more you are immersed into it. But at the same time, it really loves messing with you, emotionally and psychologically, in the best and the worst possible ways. Anyway, so this song, it's good. I like it. I love it. It makes me want to cry. I'm voting for it. I'm voting for a song for boy and girl who studied aerodynamics, which sounds like a weird, nonsensical title. But it makes sense if you understand the context, and also understand that half of that context is somehow Cyrano de Bergerac. It's a whole story, don't worry about it, unless you want to play it. In that case, you will be worried about it. Anywho, that's my vote, and what are you guys voting for?
Danton, why don't you go first?
Danton, yes, let's start with you.
Well, both songs are really good. I do like them both for their own reasons, but they're very similar as well, basically in certain ways.
I disagree vehemently and violently. I have a crowbar in my hand. Be careful.
Sure, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to probably say something that's going to basically probably annoy you.
Uh-oh.
I feel that having Wonderful Every Day twice is basically a big advantage for it if it basically passes. So, Masumi Party Derby is going.
The day you make your own tournament, you can fill it with nothing but Sonic if you want. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't just fill it with just Sonic.
Okay, Sonic and Warhammer, okay?
And Warcraft and Diablo. Final
Okay, well,
Fantasy 7.
You get the idea, but you get the idea. I made the tournament, and these are the tracks I like.
It's still my vote. Masumi Pretty Derby is going to be my vote.
Devar?
Okay, so I'm just going to tackle this from a different perspective, as in that I'm just going to be judging them on their own merits and not where the songs came from, or the music, I should say. But in this case, they are both songs, so... but anyway, Uma Musume, pretty much a decent idol-like song that basically, is supposed to leave you feeling good about things and happy, and also it's cute girls singing. Who doesn't like cute girls singing, eh?
Okay, but pretend you didn't see the video attached to it.
Well, I wasn't seeing the video attached to it. I'm just saying what it sounds like. Anyway, meanwhile, Wonderful Every Day, a song for a boy and girl who studied aerodynamics. It basically feels like it's being nostalgic with not only its with the genre of music it's chosen to use, but also with the way it's been recorded and composed. Just feels very like something from the past, so to speak. And I do kind of like that. And plus the tune is way more catchy and memorable compared to Winning the Soul out of the two. So my vote goes to a song for a boy and girl.
And for all the naysayers out there, meh. All right, yes, hold on. Yes. Now we're cooking. I couldn't get away with this with Danganronpa. And finally, this is the end of round 1, and Silver Surfer versus Void Stranger. Interesting. Level 1 of Silver Surfer, if you please. I think we're good. Leave it to the Fallen Brothers to make the absolute most with nothing but 8-bit chiptunes. You cannot take away from this game the fact that it has an excellent soundtrack, at the very least.
Agreed.
Void Stranger is a very different beast.
There's a safety locker inside of me, out of your reach, and I hold the key. It's sealed with layers and layers of irony. What's within, I refuse to see. I hold on, I hold on, I hold on, 'cause that's the only thing, the one thing that I can control. My grievance is mine, my sadness is mine, my loss is mine. One toss and I'll forever be blind. Toss the key, oh please be kind. In this state of oblivion, silence goes on. My bearings stay still, my walls stay strong. I hold on, I hold on, I hold on, 'cause that's the only thing, one thing that I can control. Grievance is mine, my sadness is mine, my loss is mine.
Okay. Unsuspectingly powerful piece. It begins slowly, humbly, and then as soon as the singer starts to sing, you realize you have fumbled into something truly different than what you were led to believe it was. And in a way, that reflects the very nature of Void Stranger as a video game. You don't expect it to go to certain places, but it does. So, let us vote. Devar?
Right. So these two are definitely polar opposites in the fact of not only in age but also in the style of music, but both powerful in their own right.
We've had a lot of opposites tonight.
Yeah, Silver Surfer level 1 theme is definitely the classic powerful but yet, catchy theme that's on from simpler times. That a lot of people will probably get imprinted in their memories just because of how good and high quality the 8-bit tunage is. And not only that, it's still, but yet still simple in its execution. Meanwhile, Void Stranger goes for a very melancholic and very
downright said, my grievance is fine, my sadness is fine.
It's definitely compared to the rocky tune of the previous one with Silver Surfer, this one is just more like powerful, like hit you in the feels.
Yes, powerful
And, of
in a
course-
different direction compared to Silver Surfer. Yes.
Yeah, and I just love it for that, honestly. And so I have to say my vote goes to Void Stranger, honestly, just because it reminds me of those soft pieces of music you would unexpectedly hear from bands that you never suspect would do at least one soft piece that is a banger.
Danton, do you want to add to this discussion?
Well, Silver Surfer is the tune is basically it gets you pumped for action and whatnot. It's very simple, as Devar put it, and it gets the job done. And whereas Void Stranger, there's a lot of I would say nuance, and there's a almost that feeling of being lost in the void of your grief and other things
Title
that
of the
are in
song
life.
is literally voided. So yes.
Yeah. So it's that sense of being lost in your own darkness, or in a seemingly endless void, so to speak.
Yes.
So basically, because of it's almost unfair, but it's also that's the nature of the beast. So Void Stranger gets my vote.
With all due respect to the legendary team and Jeff Fallen, the pretentious version of the name Jeff. Rest in peace, by the way, Jeff Fallen. With all due respect to the to the Fallen brothers, yes, they do not stand a chance against this. Sorry. This is not even Team Fallen's best work, if I'm being honest. It's still good, but Voided advances. There were never any doubts. And now it's time for the second round of this tournament.
Oh wow!
Quarterfinals, and oh, God almighty! Which one, Davar? Which one, Davar?
Well, I'm just going to say, just because we've heard it not too long ago, we'll probably go with Umineko first.
Let's start from the middle point with this one. Okay, pause. And now, there isn't a good starting point for Void Stranger. So, let's listen from the beginning, I guess?
There's a safety locker inside of me, out of your reach, and I hold the key. It's sealed with layers and layers of irony. What's within, I refuse to see. I hold on, I hold on, I hold on, 'cause that's the only thing, the one thing that I can control. My grievance is mine, my sadness is mine, my loss is mine.
Okay. I don't know. I think I prefer the more nuanced, more melancholic approach to its own craft that Voided is showcasing to me, because as much as I think World End Dominator is a fine track, a fine tune in its own right, I also cannot shake the feeling that it sounds like clubhouse music. Nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't quite hold a candle to something more musically unique and methodically composed like Voided, which grips me in a very specific way that World End Dominator does not. If I were doing some menial, labor-intensive activity, such as physical exercise, then World End Dominator would be my choice. If I wanted to just close my eyes, relax, vibe, there are wild dogs outside my window, I would have chosen Voided, which is why I'm giving my vote to Voided. No reaction whatsoever to the Wild Dogs comment, I see. Okay.
I thought that basically you either were basically pointing out there was wild dogs right now outside
Yes,
your window.
There are literally wild dogs outside my window right now. They are oinking and snorking.
Are they looking at you?
No, they are far in the distance, but you can hear
Oh, I
them.
see.
Boars in the night.
Which I would say, actually, funny enough, I swear that sometimes, I swear when listening to Umineko's World End Dominate, I swear I hear a moment where you hear a dog's bark, like go, woof, or something like that. At some point. I swear I hear it, but anyway, I'm gonna
Devar,
say
yes,
that,
let's go with you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna basically say I'm the opposite with you on this one. Even though I love both of these tracks for
Shocked.
their own reasons, and but I'm just gonna be choosing World End Dominator myself, just because I don't know, it has this perfect blend of making you feel pumped for the situation, as well as the fact that it is this track that basically seems to convey this sense of dread that just feels like it just never stops.
Okay, that's one vote for Voided and one vote for World End Dominator. Danton?
This is evil, this.
I know.
Because they're both really good in their own way. Because with Void Stranger, it's a very deep piece. Clearly, basically, a lot of thought has been put into it. Yeah, the way it's structured and the lyrics and whatnot. It clearly has a theme and it goes hard on it. And World End Dominator has its own sort of theme going on, but it's just very.
Can I say, Can I say sorry? Can I add something to my?
What is
Can I add something to this? Just posthumously, so to speak. I think my main issue with World End Dominator is that I'm going to sound like Icipal, but the build is very long. It takes a while to go, and then you hear the main part, and then it repeats itself, and it goes on like that for 7 minutes. And that's the main reason why I wouldn't listen to this track all the time. Whereas something like Void Stranger, in order to get the entire picture of it, you have to listen to it from start to finish. You cannot just interrupt it in the middle and then call it a day. There is a story being told here, there is a theming being conveyed here, and that makes me, personally, want to listen to it more attentively. And that's my piece. Sorry, Danton, please continue.
all right. Well, funny enough, I was about to say basically, it would, if there's something I would put in a playlist like to listen to over and over again. Void Stranger, even though it's really good, I'm not. You have to basically sit and listen to it basically very intently, basically to get the full breadth of its piece. Whereas World End Dominator, you can just kind of turn your brain off and basically just vibe with it, and so that would definitely go in a playlist for me. So World End Dominator gets my vote.
That is my exact argument, except it was in favor of World End Dominator, which is very funny.
The funny thing is, I was about to say it, and then you interrupted me.
Yes, and then you confirmed it, except I meant it as detrimental to that track, but you meant it, no, it's actually good that I can switch my brain off and just vibe to it. Okay, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. I guess World End Dominator advances to the semi-finals. I swear to God, if we have another Umineko sweep. Okay.
These two pieces.
These two pieces. Radiant Dawn Awakens first, if you please.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Can you cut to the middle? Okay. Not to sound dismissive or anything, but I think we get the idea.
Yeah.
And now this again. If you please. Okay. I need to force myself to stop you. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I would listen to the entire song from start to
Again.
finish. Again. I'm going to be quick about this. My vote goes to a song for boy and girl who studied aerodynamics, because of course it does, obviously. Devar?
I'm not going to waste time either. A song for a boy and girl who studied aerodynamics has a lot more going on compared to a Radiant Dawn piece of Dawn Awakens, because Dawn Awakens just doesn't have as much going on, in my opinion.
Danton?
I would basically have to agree that basically in this context, basically, even though basically the music for Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn in this particular piece, it's for a particular part of the game. You know, they're both for different parts of the game, basically of their own game, but with this context, basically, Wonderful Everyday gets the vote.
Okay, so as for Bagusa advances, that's the acronym. That's the acronym for the title. What do we have here? Okay, well, there's an obvious winner here. Regardless, let's listen to The Beast Within. Okay. The Anthropocene, if you please.
Our planet faces an unprecedented threat. We must act. Time is running out. Let's talk about the Anthropocene era. The current rate of species extinction is 1,000 times the background rate. Humanity's increased consumption and reproduction are among the primary drivers. The biodiversity crisis caused by habitat destruction has so far proven irreversible.
Okay. I don't think there's even a single solitary question about this. My vote goes to the Anthropocene.
Yeah.
Devar?
For me, For me, I would say that my vote also goes to Anthropocene because The Beast Within is a nice song, but nice piece of music, but it's way too subdued compared to Small Saga's piece.
I mean, this is a banger in all possible ways. Something can be considered as such, I would say. And also very creative in the way it all comes together. Danton.
I really, really want to make a good argument for Gabriel Knight, but I'm not going to. So Wilson is going to get my vote because it's creative and it's and all the other good things that we've all been saying about this entire night.
Yes. At least nobody here compared the Gabriel Knight music to a sports broadcasting event. Mati!
Oh boy.
Okay. Well, and what do we have here now? I'm waiting for the connection to catch up. But I mean... yes. Okay, this is going to be painful for me specifically.
In 2 ways. What should we start with? Do you...
This is the point in which I would have to choose whether to go with my heart or with my ability to make my brain go brrr, so to speak. Revving like an engine. My rationale, if you will. Devar, I'll leave the choice to you.
Let's just go with this one.
Okay. Right. A fig? A fig? A fig. A fig.
「
Okay, pause. I cannot make this decision. Devar, you go first.
I choose a fig.
Okay, Danton?
A fig.
Well, thank you for making this choice for me. I will vote for Yoru no Himawari. And now I can be at peace. Before you move on,
Yeah.
I want, once again, to draw your attention to that gorgeous, cool, cigarette-smoking, freely dress-wearing goth woman staring at the summer sky. Her name is Yuki, and she represents approximately 80%, 85% of the reasons why this game made me feel like I lost a loved one for about 2 weeks.
Wow.
And within that feeling, that set of emotions I felt towards her and towards this entire game, it forced me to confront some deeply, deeply unpleasant, uncomfortable feelings about what it means to engage with fiction and how I interact with fiction. And I hated it for it.
But
once again,
you became parasocial.
No, I cannot be parasocial to a character that doesn't exist in my world. Unless I am especially delusional. But anyway, yeah, okay, so just put me out of my misery and advance. And now, semi-finals time. Semi-finals time. Uh-oh, indeed. Okay, well, World End Dominator, start from the second minute. Okay. Asfabagusa. Start from the midpoint, please. Right. I vote for Wonderful Every Day, obviously, clearly, concisely. Danton?
Well done, Dominator.
Oh no, 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 you cannot do this to me, no, no, Devar, please, no.
I think you've lost him.
This thing is so funny, this entire scenario.
Remember, you owe me for that social faux pas before we began recording.
Damn you. Damn you.
No blackmailing the judges.
Oh boy. Oh boy, I'm sorry. This is like I said, it's just so hilarious, this scenario. Just
This
to me,
exact
so
scenario.
this exact scenario is just I
Oh.
would not get this any other way. Just apparently some god or life or fate or destiny or whatever has decided to torture Madhog by basically putting these two pieces of music together, and he's dealing with people who love world and dominate.
If I knew you were so biased towards it.
But saying that, I do want to give Wonderful Everyday a chance. So my vote does go to Wonderful Everyday.
Woohoo! Thank you. Oh, a miracle has happened.
And it's not even Christmas.
Oh my gosh, it's not even my birthday. Is it yours? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh boy, okay, here's another toughie. But I am less emotionally strained about it.
Which one should we start with then?
It's your choice, your pick. Actually, Danton, you choose.
Let's go with Dead and Igus.
Okay. What? Sorry, what did you call it?
Dead and Igus?
It's
Or
Dead and
Aegis?
Aegis. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Aegis, but you go off, Queen.
Okay.
Actually, let's start from the midpoint, yes.
夜の真相く抜けられこんなくするよ気配かすかな声が響く何を恐れるの
Okay, boss. I mean, after that excellent guitar riff and everything, what else is there to say?
Yeah.
Let's listen to Small Saga. Let's start from the midpoint as well.
methane emissions continue to cause global warming. Ocean acidification has devastated marine life. Microplastics have been found in the freshly fallen snow of Antarctica. Rainwater is no longer safe to drink anywhere on Earth. This is simply unsustainable. Is anyone listening? Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The countdown to the end is just the cherry on top of this excellent cake. You also have to appreciate all the vinyl scratches here and there, just adding to the proceedings. It's a harrowing track. And a damn fine, catchy tune. Good luck deciding, guys. By the way, Devar?
Let's see. Both are dark, but in different directions. One dread of the ending of all life of a planet. The other of just plain suffering. For magical girls.
In space.
If I remember correctly. Yeah. And
basically, the entire game is women being sexually assaulted constantly. It's a cavalcade of misery. And in space, no one can hear you scream. Oh, God. I said something horrible. But anyway, yes, it's fiction. Characters are 2D drawings. So let's separate ourselves from that. Anyway,
yes,
okay, so, but really, the only good thing coming out of Dead and Aegis is this banger of a track, and nothing else. Maybe maybe the art direction by Ueda Metao, but it's not even his best work, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but yeah, I think if I was to choose one of these two, I probably would be listening to A Fig again.
A fig. A fig. A fig. And it would go wherever I'd go. Danton.
This is a hard choice because Small Saga has my respect for the creative balls it has to pull off basically TTS as well as basically all the other bells and whistles that it uses to make it to bop. But those guitar riffs, man, they're on fire in A Fig.
I mean, if you are a musical traditionalist, then if you are a light music traditionalist, I mean, guitar riffs, they will get you.
Yeah.
So, am I right to assume that you're voting for A Fig?
A Fig.
A Fig. Well, then, I'll give my vote to the Anthropocene. But you know what that means? You know what the finals of this look like? What an incredible selection that we had.
It looks like this.
It looks like this. I wonder how this entire tournament would have panned out if we had the other two on board. I don't think either of these tracks would have made it to the finals. And yet, here we are. And I'm happy for it, by the way. I couldn't possibly be more happy. Oh God, we have to decide between these two. No!
That's your problem,
No!
not ours.
Well,
yes,
it's
it
going
was
to
my
be your problem.
it was my plan all along to cause this scenario for you.
I think
Well,
I know what
okay.
I'm picking already, but carry on.
Uh-huh.
Let's
Uh-huh.
carry. Okay, which one should we want to listen to first?
I don't know. What do you want to listen to first?
I'm just. Just this one.
Hold on. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, who, and what will we choose a fig?
Where about should we start?
From the beginning.
All right.
Pause. I just want to point out how cool those weird wavy sounds are in the midst of the music. They sound like monsters wailing. Row, 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 row. You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Continue. 'Cause I think we should listen to those guitar riffs again. Let's cut to the middle. Hold on, pause. Do you like this portion because it reminds you somewhat of World End Dominator by any chance?
Yeah.
God damn you. Continue.
I don't know why. I thought you were gonna say, "Are you picking this because it reminds you of Dragon Force?"
could have said that.
No, it makes me think of Guilty Gear.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, cut to the final minute. Cut to the final minute, and then we listen to the end of it. 'Okay. And now, a song for boy and girl who studied aerodynamics. Okay. Cut to the final minute.
Yes, this would count as a minute.
Okay, so the final choice is going to be between power metal and indie punk rock, basically.
Yeah.
So, which one is it going to be? Danton, I think I know for which you're going to vote, so get it all out.
Well, I will admit this is personal bias in this. Basically, for
we're all personally biased here. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, basically, for my genre that I like to listen to more often, indie rock it depends on the artist whereas with power metal, I like a lot of it more. So a fig gets my vote.
Okay. Devar?
I would like to know your vote first, Madhog.
No, I would like to know your vote first, Devar.
To me,
Well,
to you,
okay.
to me, to you, to me, to you, to me, to you.
Okay, well, let's say it together. 3, 2, 1. No. Okay, well, my vote will go to Wonderful Every Day. That was my choice from the beginning. So, it's up to you, Devar.
Yes. Let's see. Something that reminds me of nostalgia of of anime vlogs past that had music like that with indie rock, or something that's a bit more darker and more devilish.
Okay, so if I were to compare these two music styles in relation to anime openings, I would say Wonderful Every Day is from a adaptation of a key visual novel crossed over with the moe aesthetic of 15 to 20 years ago. It doesn't get more nostalgic than that.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, a fig could be something that plays for a modern anime opening, especially if they want it to sound cool and edgy. And you know, that's not detrimental to that. I'm not saying that in a detrimental fashion, just in a matter of fact fashion. And that's whether that's good or bad, that depends on your personal taste.
Yeah. And I must admit it is a very tough choice, but I'm afraid you might hate me for this, but I'm choosing a fig.
No, I don't hate you for this. Honestly, 2 out of the 4 tracks that I wanted to see win have gotten to the finals, and honestly, I have nothing to lament. I was going to be happy regardless, because A Fig and Wonderful Every Day made it to the finals, and they're both excellent in their own way. I'm just sad that the song from the game I hate won, but the song is good. Since we have gotten this tournament out of the way, I need to confess something to you both.
Yeah.
My brain works in mysterious ways. Do you know where my brain went when I've heard the first few notes from a song for a boy and girl who studied aerodynamics? The classic energetic ta-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. You know what I was thinking?
What were you thinking about?
This is my escape. I'm running through this world and I'm not looking back. Cause I wanna go where no one's ever gone and I'm not looking back. But how will I know when I get there? And how will I know when to leave? We all gotta start from somewhere. It's right there for me. The possibilities are never ending. I see it, and now it's all within my reach, and that's possibility. Na, 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 na. I see it now. It's always been inside of me, and now I feel so free, and that's possibility. Before the Japanese singer begins singing, when I hear Wonderful Every Day, the first few notes in my brain, I think of endless possibility. And then I went and did something. Let's have some fun here. Let's have a bit of a post-show gag, so to speak. Let's get back in chat. So I posted this link. This is the actual opening for Wonderful Every Day. I'm going to show it to you.
Yeah.
There is a point to this.
Okay, heard that one.
Okay, are you finished?
Yeah, I finished.
Okay, so now you've seen how that song plays in the context of the OP, right? You've
Yeah.
seen the timing of it. You see it fits perfectly. You see how it crafts a mood, a vibe, an energy that's unique to it.
Yep,
It
I
all
do.
comes together perfectly. And now, by comparison, I want you to watch this.
This is my escape. I'm running through this world and I'm not looking back. 'Cause I know I can go where no one's ever gone and I'm not looking back. But how will I know when I get there? And how will I know when to leave? We've all got to start from somewhere, and it's right there for me. The possibilities are never ending. I see it, and now it's all within my reach. Possibility. I see it now. It's always been inside of me. Now I feel so free, and it's possibility. And so I'll carry on. My time to shine has come. I feel it.
Okay, so I did this as a goof, as a joke,
Yes.
or as a coping mechanism, and then I was shaken to my core to see how well it fits. The timing and the editing of this OP flawlessly accompanies it. The rhythm of it with the images scrolling on screen and the montage, it fits beautifully. And not just the song with the images, but also, surprisingly, thematically, the message of Endless Possibility is basically a slightly, if not a lot more optimistic version of the message that the game is about. So it fits it in ways I could not have possibly predicted.
You want to know what I get the vibe of from this version that you made?
Please tell me.
It's basically gives me the same sense of companies who are basically decide, oh, we can't play the original Japanese opening. Let's just put on English music over this Japanese anime, just so that it's like, so the American audience can enjoy it.
You know what? That sounds exactly like something 4Kids would do, except they struck gold because it would be the Pokemon theme song. So, yes. You know what? You know what I should do?
What?
I should do the opposite. I should overlay the track, the OP from Wonderful Everyday, to the opening cinematic of Sonic Unleashed to see how it fits.
Oh gosh.
Wouldn't that be something? Something I could do if I were evil.
I mean, you're already halfway there.
Danton, what do you think?
It's very Sum 41.
I guess we can call it a night then.
Yes, we can.
Okay, well, thanks for joining me, everybody. Thanks for joining me, the twins. And that was certainly a very animated and fun tournament we've had.
Yeah.
Made me sweat like a pig.
Oh boy.
But good times were had all around. A fig wins.
A pig!
A fig.
Imagine if we
Okay,
lived.
so,
Imagine if we lived
for
in a
once-
world where World End Dominator got through.
I don't think we are powerful enough to sustain an Umineko sweep. But yes, for once, the tracks I wanted to see go far went far and all the way. So I cannot complain. I can guarantee you that if the other two were with us tonight, World End Dominator would have been eliminated in the first round. And I don't think any of the ones I liked would have ended up in the finale. Maybe some of them. But here we are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's it then. I'll see you two soon enough for the next game show night. And good night.
It was lovely,
Yes.
lovely to be
Good
here,
night.
and good night and take care.
Good night. Bye. Bye!
Bye.